Hey guys, Jacob here, New Sounds and Old, coming to you from Denmark once again with a Vinyl Finds video. And this time it's all new records. I went to my store in Copenhagen not too long ago and picked up some brand new stuff and some reissues that I've been dying to get. Um, at least one of them for a long time. And yeah, I let's just go straight into it. First of all is this one. Doesn't give too much away. This is the almost brand spanking new and latest album from American band Low from Duluth. Where's Duluth? And that is that in Minnesota? They're from out in the sticks, I think. The album is called Hey What, and Low have been around since the early 90s, and I've been a fan of them since mid late 90s. And they were once a trio. The bassist left the band a couple of years ago, and they are known for, historically, they're known for playing the genre that you could call sadcore, which is some really beautiful, quiet, somber melodies, sad melodies, at times, at least, and some very sparse instrumentation, just guitar, bass, and drums normally. And they've released one brilliant album after another. Um, Couple of years ago, the bassist left the band, and they kind of reinvented themselves. So from being this sadcore based band, if you I hate genres, but yeah, let's just call it sadcore. They went in a more electronic, uh, avant-garde, kind of drone-y music style, with the album called Double Negative, which I think was released in 2000, was it 2018 or 19? I don't recall now. I should have done more research. Um, Anyways, that was my favorite album of that year because it was part of the band reinventing themselves, losing the bassist, and then also a them speaking out to what was going on in the United States at that time with the former president. I'm not going to go into politics, but the former president, which this band did not like, understandably. Um, and so it was, man, it was just an album of that time. Um, just really expressing the frustration and the anger and the irritation with a government that they did not like and they did not care for. The album was Double Negative. This is Hey What, and this kind of comes as a natural follower to the Double Negative album because they continue on in this sort of at times almost industrial, kind of noisy music, cut up into like sounds and like staccato bits and so on. And at times you wonder, what instruments are they playing? Are they even playing instruments? Are they just banging shit and making noise? But it works. I really, really like this album. Uh, for some reason, this cover here actually really tells what the album is all about. It's just gray and black and cut up into bits, and it's like grainy and dark and gloomy, and yeah, it's a great album. Um, the inside of the gatefold doesn't really tell you much. uh, I think I got the so-called loser edition, By the way, this sticker that I've put here on the insert that I've, or on the inner sleeve rather, that I've put the record into, was on the shrink wrap. So I picked that up. So when you actually see it in the store, you can see that it's low. So this is, like I said, the looser edition, and the looser edition is on a clear vinyl. The only bad thing I can say about this album is that I think that the album, when you compare the streaming version of this album to this vinyl version, they have actually trimmed 4 of the songs on side A. I guess the official explanation is that they the songs were running a bit long to be on one side, to make sure that they could reach a that they could secure a good pressing, because it would like go on to 25, 26, 27 minutes maybe. So 4 of the songs on side A have been trimmed down. Track 1 has been trimmed with 1.5 minutes. But what has been left out on the vinyl version is actually just a transition from track 1 to track 2, with just a guitar going blip, 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 for like 1.5 minutes. It works when you listen to it on streaming, and it would have been nice to have on the vinyl as well. But I guess that they just, out of practicality, they just trimmed down the songs. So, but this is a really good album. It's a candidate, at least in my mind, for album of the year. I once again really like this new direction that the Low have taken, yeah, they've just reinvented themselves, and they've gotten away with it, basically. So something very different. It basically couldn't be more different from the dark, gloomy world of Low, is this collection here called French Disco Boogie Sounds. I don't know what people think when they watch these videos regarding my musical taste, but it's all over the place. If you didn't know already, now it's all over the place. This is volume 4 in a series called French Disco Boogie Sounds. This is compiled by a French guy called Georges Maurice. This was released in 2019, and I'm really hoping the first 4 ones actually came out not that far apart. So it's been 2 years since this came out, and I'm hoping that that they will release more albums in this series here. So what this is French Disco Boogie Sounds, originally released from for this compilation, released from 1977 to 1991. And it is just like one hit wonder bands, or not even a hit, like songs that maybe people didn't hear. I, for one, have never heard of any of these artists here before. Some of the artists are, because France and the history of France, they've been all over the world, so a lot of the musicians here have origins from Africa, origins from other parts of the world. So there's a lot of different musical input on this compilation here. But all in all, it is disco boogie sounds. This is not my favorite in the series. I have 2, 3, and 4. 2 is by far my favorite. But this is another great addition to this series here. And if you're into at times maybe cheesy disco and boogie stuff, check out this series here. You won't be disappointed. I sure as hell have not been by any of them.
Je draguais une super souris. Ça marchait vraiment impec quand je m'aperçus que c'était un mec. Ouais, ouais.
To something a bit different, but then maybe again not. I picked up the third volume of the collection series called Vamono A to C. So we're moving from France to Japan. So this is a collection of, as it says here, Japanese light mellow funk, disco, and boogie from 1978 to 1988, selected by DJ Yoshisawa Dynamite and Chintam, I think he is called. Um, I picked up the second release in this series earlier this year. I think that was released originally last year, but I picked it up earlier this year, and that blew my mind. That was like Japanese jazz and so on. This is more of a disco boogie feel, which I like. This collection is not as strong as the previous one, but it's still really good. Um, Once again, this maybe suffers from some of the 80s production that some of the songs are from. Most of the songs are from the 80s here. There are two from 86, one from 85, one from 88. And the production on those tracks is maybe not the best, but it's still a really good compilation. If you're into music from all around the world, I recommend this series here. So Wamono A to C. This is the third release in the series, and this is the latest one. So 1, 2, and 3 are out there, and I need to pick up number 1 also. I'm gonna leave you a sample of this. So next up, two jazz albums. One of them is the number 9 in a series that I've also been buying every release in, and that is the Jazz is Dead series from Adrian Young and Ali Shahid Muhammad. This edition is called Instrumentals. So they've released, you can't see them, but they're up there. Editions 1 through 8, and then also a couple of more albums. So I have 1 to 8, and basically it's these two guys here who bring a modern approach and a modern take on jazz music from all around the world, and they feature some really prominent artists. So the artists on the albums up there range from Roy Ayers to Marcus Valle to Doc Soren to Brian Jackson to Doc Karn rather, Brian Jackson, João Donato, Marcus Valle, Azimuth, Brazilian musicians, and this one then features, I guess, instrumental versions of songs from 4 of the albums above. So from Roy Ayers, Gary Bartz, João Donato, and Marcus Valle. From the 4 releases by each of these 4 guys up there, they have instrumental versions of some of the tracks here. And this is a 2-disc set, and it's really great, and it's modern, it's great, it's such a great take. These two guys, Adrian and Ali, are amazing, and this whole series is amazing, and I definitely think that you should check it out. Yeah, I can only recommend this. And then I picked up, I guess, one of the classic jazz albums. This was a blind buy, even though everyone says that it was good, and I felt pretty safe buying it. It was still a blind buy because I've never heard it before, and it is Eric Dolphy's Out to Lunch, 1964, I believe. Original release. This is the Blue Note Classic Vinyl series. Sounds amazing. I knew that Eric Dolphy is a bit far out. And I knew that he was experimental and free jazzy kind of guy. Um, I was, I don't know, I guess that maybe, with this being released in 1964, maybe I expected something else, but other musicians, say Charles Mingus, was already going in different directions with jazz, and I was maybe not expecting as free jazz an album as this sounds, at least in my ears. And I need to have some more listens to it to get under the skin of this record. Because I'll be honest with you, the first listen I was a bit underwhelmed. But maybe it's just my brain expecting something a bit different and then not really enjoying it as much as I would have had I not had some expectations, if you catch my drift. But it sounds amazing, and I guess I just need to listen to it a bit more. I think that's the analysis that I've made. I I was expecting something a bit different that I didn't get, and so I think my mind just got a little annoyed and disappointed, and yeah, I don't know. I've not given up on it. Next album is a Danish album, the singer called Kira Skov, and her album called Spirit Tree. So Kira Skov is not a name that has come up much in the VC. One guy in the VC who has shown albums from Kira is Richard Riley. He somehow came across an album of Kira's some years back, and he really championed her and really recommended her to everyone watching his video. And Kira's been on the Danish music scene for many years now. Um, this album is the reason why it's called Spirit Tree is because she has invited a lot of, I guess, kindred spirits to perform with her and to write with her. And there are a lot of Danish people on here that most of you wouldn't know. But the thing about this album and what makes it maybe interesting to some of you who are not in Denmark watching is that this also features people like Mark Lanigan, who used to be in the Screaming Trees. It features Bonnie Prince Billy. It features Jenny Wilson and John Parrish. John Parrish has, I believe, produced the album, at least co-produced. Um, and it's just an astounding record. This is I've known her for years, and her music has never really, caught on to me 100%. This album, Spotify recommended some songs from this album to me, and I gave them a listen, and I was really surprised and really overwhelmed by the power of the songs, and I picked up the album, and I absolutely love it. Um, this is a great album. She's going on tour. Sadly, not anywhere close to where I am. Maybe I should get in my car and find a concert with her somewhere. But this is a great album. The artwork is great. It's just really like it feels like a pen drawing all over. Lyrics, and then all of the people in Kira's Spirit Tree. So you have like drawings of Mark Lanigan and Bonnie Prince Billy and so on. Um, yeah, it's just a really really good record, and the packaging and everything. I'll leave you a sample of this one as well. Recommend this if you can get it anywhere where you are. I think that this might get some form of international release, seeing as both Mark Langan and Bonnie Prince Billy are featured.
And here we go again. When we run, we roll, we shout. We won't go without a fight. We won't go quietly into the night. Ah.
And then finally, a reissue that has, I mean, this album has been reissued a couple of times before, but I finally um, got myself together and picked up the new reissue of Sigur Rós, the Icelandic post-rock, dream post-rock band, if you will, and their second album called, pardon my Icelandic, but Ágætis Byrjun is, I think, approximately how it is to be pronounced. Fun thing is that I actually saw this band live just around the time when they released this album originally in my local hometown on a Wednesday night with 30 people there watching Sigur Rós. It's they were on a some sort of Icelandic cultural boost tour of Denmark. Iceland and Denmark obviously have some history with Denmark having invaded Iceland or yeah, many years ago, and Iceland being a part of Denmark for many years. So there is some connection there between Iceland and Denmark. So they wanted to, I guess, culturally boost some Icelandic artists, both music and art and so on. And Sigur Rós were on tour with a singer called Magastina, and they came to my then hometown. And I heard a song with them on Danish radio in a program said, you know, you have to go out and see this if they're anywhere near you. So I went to the concert on a cold Wednesday night in, I don't know when it was, 1999 or 2000. I saw the band live. I think it was 1999 because this was released in 1999 originally. And it had at that time only been released on Iceland. I bought the CD from the band and the CD of the first album and the remix album they did in between, and absolutely loved them ever since. So Sigur Rós, Ágætis Byrjun, with some lovely song titles there. Yeah. Ah, man, it's so good. And that's it for this video. Maybe I'll shoot some more videos today. I don't know. I'm 2 down today already. Till next time, guys. Take care. Bye bye.